Our world is a place of beauty and danger. It is equal parts adventure and disaster. It is Zendikar, our home, and it is under siege. Monsters have emerged everywhere. Some say they have been here all along, trapped. But I say they are not of this world, and it is we who are trapped. They are spreading across Zendikar, killing and consuming. Left unchallenged, they will leave our home a wasteland. But Zendikar has its defenders, heroes who fight to save this world from the forces that threaten to destroy it. We all must find strength in one another. Only then can Zendikar be saved. Now is the time to face this alien threat, to take a stand, to battle for Zendikar.
All right.
So what'd you guys think? How was that? Good, yeah?
Right? Yeah. If you're excited now, just wait. Hello, PAX! And the internet, which I imagine isn't going to cheer as loudly. I'm Will Wheaton. Hello.
Yay, Will Wheaton! And I'm Burch. Thanks everyone for coming here, and for those of you that are joining us at home for the Battle for Zendikar preview show!
It is very appropriate that we were having the preview show in this area because it looks an awful lot like Zendikar in here. I've actually been there to the actual Zendikar, and it looks very, very similar to this.
It's weird, right? There's these giant hedrons that are just bursting out of the ground over here.
Yeah, we've got one over here that's like 9 feet tall, which I guess is life size for a hedron, I think.
That's accurate.
Wow, that's a thing that's happening.
Eldrazi.
That also happens on the real Zendikar.
We've got core swinging from vines in the entrance. That's pretty sweet.
Yep, and then we have this great, amazing, giant Eldrazi tentacle bursting out of the ground out front and crushing a police car.
Which is, Which is like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, like, tap the police, I guess.
Right, exactly.
It's a cultural reference that mixes pop culture with magic.
Let's explain. So back in the 90s.
Is very funny. And seriously, as cool as all of this stuff is, it's not the only stuff that's going on here this weekend. We got the Magic World Championship happening downstairs right now. Tomorrow afternoon, you can watch the finals in person if you are here. You can watch it on our Twitch channel if you are not here. Although I guess if you're here, you could watch it in person and on Twitch.
Oh man, and
then you would know what's going to happen before it hits Twitch.
And then the singularity would happen.
Yeah.
And we all get sucked into a black hole.
Yeah. So that's a thing that you can do.
That's a thing you can do. There's also a lot of awesome panels happening this weekend. We've got the world building panel for the Battle of Zendikar on Monday in the Hydra Theater.
Yes.
We also got all the awesome stuff happening in the Seagate Theater downstairs. Mm-hmm. There's a panel about how to be a professional Magic player, which is super cool, a character design panel, and a Q&A with Mark Rosewater himself.
Yeah, it's kind of awesome.
Yeah, which is kind of awesome. And again, if you're not going to be here in person for whatever reason, then we're going to put all this stuff, we're going to record it and put it up on the Wizards website and our YouTube channel. So
there's also a whole bunch of Learn to Play Magic events. There are some Magic game shows, and we're having drafts firing all weekend long. So it's pretty cool. So that's all the stuff that's happening here at PAX in general. But what is happening here in our version of Zendikar specifically?
We're going to look at Zendikar and find out that things are not going super well there right now. Spoiler alert.
No, they're really not.
They're not good.
Things are not going well there at all. I represented the Eldrazi Hordes just a little bit ago. We were doing our best to make things really bad on Zendikar.
You're the worst.
But I was kind of great at it. I went 4-3, not bad. The Allies deck, I could say a swear about, because I hate fighting against that. But the Zendikar defeated the Eldrazi Hordes. Congratulations, Zendikar. We're all very proud of you. Sort of, I guess. And in the course of defeating the Eldrazi, we revealed a whole bunch of preview cards for the people who are here. We put some of them online, but we're going to show them all again while we are here today in more detail. And we're going to talk all about them and Battle for Zendikar specifically with Mark Rosewater, who will be on here this stage in just a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find Mark
That's
to make
a good
that happen.
idea.
So, bye.
Bye. Good luck. I'll be here alone and sad. So before we share Battle of Zendikar, the set with you guys, we wanted to talk a little bit more about Zendikar, the place. So to do that, please welcome Doug Beyer. He is the senior game designer at Magic the Gathering. Welcome, Doug.
Hi.
So, what is Zendikar, Doug?
So let's start with the basics here. So
Okay.
Zendikar is one of the worlds of the multiverse. It's one we were excited to return to because this is a place where last time we visited, there was a bit of a cliffhanger to the story. We didn't know what
Right.
happened with the Eldrazi. So now we're returning to this place of extreme landscapes, amazing geography, survivors and explorers who stop at nothing to survive in this extreme environment. And this is a place that has deep history. It has a history that's built around these magical hedrons that you're seeing around the stage here. This is a place where these explorers search through these ruins to find hidden treasures and delve into ancient secrets.
Ooh, secrets. Do we get to know about the secrets?
You want to know about some secrets?
Okay, do you guys want to know about the secrets?
All right.
Please tell us about the secrets.
So set the Wayback Machine to 6,000 years ago.
Okay.
We're going deep, guys. So at the time, the Eldrazi, which are these astral, cosmic abominations from beyond the Bland Eternities, have been ravaging the multiverse. They're a threat to every plane. Wherever the Eldrazi go, they consume, they destroy, they feed on life, energy, mana, anything. They turn it to dust. So they were a threat to so many worlds that ancient planeswalkers banded together and decided to trap the Eldrazi. But they needed a place. They needed a world where they could bring the Eldrazi and make sure they could trap them there. They chose Zendikar.
Why did they choose Zendikar?
So Zendikar's potent mana was a perfect lure for the Zendikar. It drove them right in. They wanted to feed on its energies anyway. And it worked. They constructed this massive spell to bind the Eldrazi, and the Hedrons essentially sent them into a state of torpor. And so they rested, and things calmed down for thousands of years.
Okay, so we're good then. We can all go home. We're good?
Well, no.
No, okay, that's what I thought.
The problem is, inadvertently, planeswalkers fast forward 6,000 more years now.
Okay.
We're in the current era.
Okay.
Got it? All right.
Yes.
Some planeswalkers inadvertently loosened the bonds that kept the Eldrazi trapped. That's what the Rise of the Eldrazi set represented. They rose up out of the earth. They scrabbled across the landscape. They began feeding on Zendikar and its mana and its energy. We saw the Titan Ulamog, this mighty Titan, move across the landscape, leaving a swath of destruction, spawning new monsters as it went. And they're tearing across the landscape, leaving this sort of chalky, dusty wasteland in their wake.
That's
So-
super sad.
That's sort of sad.
I'm really bummed out now.
But there's going to be some upside. So there is hope. Fortunately, we have people coming together to rise up against the Eldrazi. There are heroes from Zendikar who are standing up, who are coming from all walks of life. Goblins and elves and core, vampires, humans, they're all coming together to fight against the Eldrazi. And the land itself is fighting back. The land of Zendikar acts as a kind of immune system. It can sense the threat of the Eldrazi, and it's rising up, creating massive elementals to fight against the Eldrazi too. Finally, some planeswalkers are here, and they've come to lead the charge, to bring together all these forces of the Zendikari people to battle back the Eldrazi, to hope to save this world. They know that if the Eldrazi conquer Zendikar, then the Eldrazi will be a threat to every world, so they need to stop it here. So, we had Gideon and Jura in particular. Gideon is an ally of Zendikar. He is bringing together all the forces of Zendikar, and he's going to use his leadership abilities to muster.
Look at this. Look at these chiseled abs. You can just
Yeah.
tell.
I mean, there's a lot of handsome going on here. There's also a card. I mean, we're not showing it right now.
Do you guys want to see the abs or the card?
Unless you guys want to see the card. All right, here we go.
We'll show you the card.
We'll show you the card.
Abs later. So, yeah, right? Yeah, okay. So Gideon's an ally, and he makes other allies.
That's right.
And he makes everyone stronger.
He's very powerful in this way. You're
He's
going
kind of the best.
You're going to see a little later on in the show how this clicks in with the mechanics of the set very powerfully.
Yeah, he seems pretty awesome.
He's pretty awesome.
Pretty excited about this.
So we've seen a lot of these beautiful landscapes of Zendikar. We've heard some of the lore behind the story that's led up to this point. And as a member of the creative team, I'm just so proud of all the work that went into bringing all these elements together, these talented individuals who've created and forged this world of Zendikar.
You should be. It's awesome. Art's beautiful. Everything's great.
So it's super excited. Hey.
Excuse me, just wondering if I could interrupt.
Hey, Graham.
Hey, Graham Stark, loading ready, run. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Graham.
Don't worry that I'm conspicuously mic'd. Doug, I've been coming to the world building panels at PAX for the last, I want to say 4 years, asking the same question every time.
I know you have. I've been at most of those.
Yeah, and Magic is a game with beautiful, gorgeous art, and especially for Zendikar. Doug, when can we buy an art book?
January 5th.
Wait, really?
Are you how's your heart?
I'm
Are
so
you still
excited
alive?
right now.
Okay.
I'm proud to announce The Art of Magic the Gathering Zendikar, which is an amazing lore book that's full of hundreds of illustrations from the original set, Battle for Zendikar, and the next set. It contains over 60,000 words of lore, behind the scenes information about the setting and this world, bringing together everything that you will need to bring Zendikar to life.
Do you have one on you?
Yes, I do, and it looks like this. I'm kind of protective of it.
Can I touch it?
No.
Sorry, Graham.
That's okay. It's okay. I'll go back over here now.
Doug Beyer, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Doug Beyer, thank you.
Okay, but seriously, that art book.
I know, right?
Right?
I'm so excited. The art's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is so awesome. So, after everything that Doug just told us, I'm really excited to play this set.
Yeah.
But just walk with me for a moment into the realm of the hypothetical.
All
what
right.
if I am a Magic Duels player?
That is a very interesting and, as it turns out, not entirely hypothetical question that we created to give us an opportunity to talk about this very thing.
Isn't that weird?
Yes. So, Magic player, you will be very happy to know, all you Magic Duels players, that there will be a brand new Battle for Zendikar campaign in Magic Duels. It will be free to download, and you can unlock Battle for Zendikar boosters by spending coins or buying coins in the game.
Woo! Right? Nice. So if you are not a Magic Duels player yet, it is free to download, and it is available on iOS, Xbox One, and PC via Steam right now. If you want to, go play some Magic on the computer.
Oh, you know what just happened is I just felt the collective butthole of the legal department go, "Argh!" because I said buying and what I meant was earning. And I said the wrong word. So, by buying I meant earning.
That made my butthole feel weird.
That's what I
just
meant.
Everything.
Yes, so legal, you can relax. Just relax your buttholes, legal department. Oh, wait a minute. Corporate butthole just went like this because I said legal butthole. Oh, you guys, it is a bad day for buttholes here in Seattle.
Speaking of buttholes.
Yeah.
I mean, new cards.
Yes.
They're kind of the same thing.
Right.
Right. Did you find Mark?
In fact, I did.
Okay.
I found Mark. Mark, Rosewater, why don't you come on out here and talk about Magic the Gathering? I had so much fun playing as an Eldrazi this afternoon.
It seems to match your personality, so.
You know what? It kind of does a little bit. I'm kind of always the villain. I'm clearly on Team Tentacle. And here's the thing about the Eldrazi, you guys, okay? They just want to eat. It's not that big a deal Stop trying to lock them up in a box and just let them go out and eat. They're going to devour everything, but that's okay. Let's talk about the super annoying heroes that are trying to stop the Eldrazi from just running out and having the snack that they've needed for literally thousands of years. Let's get started with some of the cards that we revealed during our event this afternoon.
Okay.
And then I understand we have some other kind of awesome stuff to talk about.
So let's jump in.
Yeah, let's go.
So one of the cool things about going back to a place is that you want to get a balance between revisiting it and bringing back things people loved about why we were there before, but not rehashing it completely, doing some new things. And so we were trying to get a balance. So one of the things that's really important is we're back in Zendikar. The Eldrazi are there. Your friends, the Eldrazi.
They're really good guys.
So the key is, how do you represent the Eldrazi? So there were 5 things that we mechanically wanted to do. So number 1, they are ancient beings. They are old. They're old, old, old. They're one of the oldest things in the multiverse. Number 2, they're huge. They're giant creatures. Number 3, they're alien. They're unfathomable. They're really good villains because no one understands what they're doing. You can't reason with them. You can't really plan what you have no idea what they're doing. They're so alien.
Has anybody even really tried to talk to them?
Number 4.
Exactly. Hashtag not all Eldrazi.
So number 4 is the Eldrazi are not just individual beings, they're all interconnected. That they're one larger entity that we have to understand how they all work together. And number 5, they're voracious. They're hungry.
Yes. I know. As their anointed representative on the stage, I can tell you that is true.
So we wanted to capture them. So let's look at the cards and we'll talk about how we did that.
Okay, so we'll start with a card that I actually got to play this afternoon in one of the matches that I won. By the way, I went 4-3. Very proud of myself. This is
7-4.
This is the. All right. That's true. I would hope that you are better than me at this game.
My boss went undefeated, by the way. So
that's nice.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't have to face that ally deck. Super not bitter about that ally deck. Okay, so this card is amazing. This is the Eldrazi Devastator. All right, this guy is freaking huge. All right, so he's an 8/9 with trample, but he's a common.
He's a common
for 8. Explain how this craziness happens.
Well, we're back in Zendikar for starters. So, first off, I said the Eldrazi are ancient. How do we show that they're ancient? Well, they're so old that they predate the colors of magic. Now, the colors of magic are a key part of magic. These guys are so old, they pre-exist that. So, one of the things we did last time we saw them is they were colorless. So we have a special frame, and that they are, one of the things we wanted to do is really show how using the colorless as a means to sort of represent them all. We'll get to that. Also, they're huge. How do we show they're huge? We make them huge. It's an 8/9 trampler at common. We don't do that normally. So, one of the things that's fun about going to Zendikar is you get to see the Eldrazi. You get to see giant 8/9 tramplers.
All right, so the next card that we have is Kozilek's Channeler. Right? Now, this is very interesting because usually cards that make mana are a little smaller.
Yes.
Right, so what?
Okay, so normally in Magic we have what we call mana elves, which are 1 or 2 drop creatures that produce mana. So this guy, his playtest name was Elfdrazi, because he was an Eldrazi version of a mana elf. We couldn't keep it, but so one of the things that's neat about this card is it costs 5 mana, it's 4/4, taps for 2 colorless. Well, why would you need that? Well, we just saw why, because the last guy costs 8 to cast, and so you need them. So the Eldrazi all work together, that they're interconnected, and so one of the fun things about doing this is having the Eldrazi help each other. So this guy helps get the really big Eldrazi out. And we talked about how they're really alien, that in Eldrazi, Eldrazi is very different from a normal thing. So we get to show how different it is.
So here's one that is super different. This is the Barrage Tyrant. This is another Eldrazi character. Now, okay, this card is super awesome. The frame is amazing, and the frame tells a story which I really, really like. So I'm going to step out of the way and let them understand why I am this stupidly excited about this card. Go.
Okay, So I said that when you go back to a world, you want to bring back things you know, but you also want new things. You want different things. So one of the things, last time we were there in Rise of the Eldrazi, we met them. Most of them were colorless, but a few of them were colored. There were red, black, and green Eldrazi. And we're like, okay, we're back now. The Eldrazi like to eat mana. Okay, no colored Eldrazi. Everything's going to be colorless. And so that was the plan. But, we've been doing this a long time, 22 years of Magic. We've learned some lessons. So once upon a time, we had a set called Mirrodin. And if you make a lot of colorless things, you get in trouble because the color pie is a safety net. It protects you. It's good. It protects you, and you need it. And that when you make too many colorless things, everything gets to go on the same deck, and it gets broken.
Yeah, which, by the way, was awesome. I loved Mirrodin.
So what happened was we needed to have a way to make everything colorless, but have the color pie matter. So way back in Future Sight, there was a card from the future, apparently now, and it's a card that was a Ghostfire that had a mana cost that cost color, but it was colorless. And so we said, oh, that is a good idea. That's how we can have colorless creatures, but have them be colored. But the problem was, how do you represent that? We need a frame. And so we worked on it, and what we did is, you notice at the top part is like red, like a normal red card. So when it's in your hand, you can see that you need red mana for it. But once you get it out in play, the rest of it is colorless, because in play, it's a colorless creature. And so the frame does a really nice job explaining that. Now, the other cool thing, if you look here, its ability is you can spend 2 in a red, sacrifice another colorless creature, and then it deals damage equal to that creature's power to target creature or player. So one of the themes about colorlessness is we can make colorless matter. So one of the big things in the set is the Eldrazi are all colorless, and we have all these different cards, like the Barrage Tyrant, that make colorless matter. And the cool thing about that is, in this set, in Limited, it's all about the Eldrazi. But if you get to Standard, what was the last block about? Morph! Face-down colorless creatures. So this matters in this set in one way, and in Standard it matters in a whole different way.
It's just so pretty, you guys. Like, it's so great that when you play this, the Eldrazi just destroys the mana and leaves nothing behind. I love that. It's really great. And all right, I get it. You don't like it the way I do. That's fine. You're wrong. It's great. Another Eldrazi is called the Incubator Drone.
Yes.
And this is another creature with Devoid. So talk us through this card.
Okay, so if you remember back, last time we saw the Eldrazi, they had the Eldrazi Spawn, which were 0/1 colorless creature tokens that you could sack for colorless mana. So the Eldrazi like to work together. The Spawn were a way to get mana so you could cast the big creatures. Well, they're back, kind of. Hey, some time's elapsed. The Spawn have gotten better. Now they're Scions. The Scions are not 0/1 creatures. They're 1/1 creatures. So before, if you wanted to win with Spawn, you had to beef them up. You had other cards that had to help you. You don't need that with the Scions. You get enough Scions out, they alone can win.
The next card that we're going to see is the Mist Intruder. I don't know why I'm looking there. I could look right here. The next card is the Mist Intruder. Let's just forget I said that. The Mist Intruder. So this is another Eldrazi drone that has Devoid and is flying, but it's got this new thing called Ingest, which is awesome. Talk about Ingest.
Okay, so one of the things, what Ingest means is a creature with Ingest, whenever it deals combat damage to another player, you take the top card of their library and you exile it. Now, in a vacuum, you can mill out your opponent, you can deplete their library, but it actually is part of a much larger strategy. So one of the things we're trying to do is we want the Eldrazi to be strange and weird, and we also want them to be voracious. How do we do that? So one of the themes we do in this set is the Eldrazi are all about exiling things. They have lots and lots of different ways to exile things. Why is that important? Because of a new thing called Eldrazi processors.
I imagine that there's probably a processor coming up next, almost as if we planned this.
Oh, look!
No, look at that! It's the Blight Herder, an Eldrazi processor. Explain the Blight Herder, which is terrifying to look at. That art is super disturbing to me.
So what processors do is other cards will get things into the exile zone, and then when processors enter the battlefield, they can eat stuff out of the exile zone, ends up going into the opponent's graveyard, so they can do things. This card, for example, will make 3 Scion tokens. So all of a sudden, the Eldrazi, they get to eat things in play, and then they get to eat things in the exile zone. And we've never really messed in the space. It's really alien space. Well, we have an alien people. We want to mess in alien space. So this is really brand new design space.
And I'm telling you, when you are facing these guys in a battle, I will just ask you to please remember this all could have been avoided if you would just let them out to eat. That's all they want to do. The next card we're looking at is an instant. But this is crazy. This is a colorless instant.
Yes.
And this does not happen very often in Magic. In my research for this, and by research I mean talking to Graham on the phone, it's happened 4 times.
Yeah, so what happened is, last time we saw the Eldrazi, we introduced the idea of colorless instant sorceries.
Yeah.
They didn't exist. The Eldrazi are the only time we've ever done them. Well, they're back, so colorless sorceries are back. Now this card does a really good job of explaining all the pieces of how the Eldrazi come together. So Titan's Present costs 3. As an additional cost, you can cast Titan's Present. You reveal a creature card, a colorless creature card from your hand, and then you exile target creature if its power is equal to or less than the power of the creature you revealed. Okay, so I said they're ancient. This is a colorless instant. I said that they're gigantic. Well, you want to reveal a really big creature from your hand. I said that they're alien. This is a very weird card doing strange things. I said they're voracious. They're exiling creatures. And I said they all work together. Well, why are they exiling creatures? Because the processors are going to eat them. So this is a really good example of how the Eldrazi mechanically are all intertwined to do...
You can create a great feedback loop with your Eldrazi creatures that make your opponent really not have a good day.
Well, if you want to play the Eldrazi, you can do a lot of damage to your opponent.
We're going to see some of the good guys now, I guess. The heroes, whatever. They're on the wrong side of this battle. This is the Oran Reef Hydra. So it's not an Eldrazi, and it's freaking huge. Introduce us to the Oran Reef Hydra.
Okay, so the Oran Reef Hydra, it's a 6-mana creature, 5/5 Trampler, and it brings back Landfall. So, okay, so when we were in Zendikar last time, the #1 mechanic was Landfall. So when we knew we were coming back, we're like, okay, we want to make sure we have new things, but we want to bring stuff back. Well, this was the most popular mechanic. So we brought it back, we put the Zendikari side gets it, and we did some twists to it. So this card, for example, besides being Landfall, is kind of also Forest Fall. It rewards you for having a forest. Because you get 1+ from the counter for a land, but you get 2 for a forest. And so what you'll see is Landfall's back, but we've done some new things to twist it up a little bit.
You know, I loved Landfall in Zendikar in 2009. I thought it was great until I had to actually defend against it today. And the guy that wrecked me before I could touch him, his creature was nominally a 1/1 creature. But thanks to Landfall, by the time it was over, I was at -8 and he was at 43. So... maybe I don't love...
like allies?
Don't like allies, don't like landfall.
Okay.
No, I like big creatures that destroy everything and make you cry. I mean, that's sort of my jam, a little bit. We're going to see another hero. This is the hero of Gomafada, right? So now we know that allies are back, and he is an ally, but he has this right. Who said yes? You're right. This guy is, this guy's great. He's on the wrong side, and I'm disappointed about that, but he's super amazing. So talk us through this and explain Rally, because Rally's really cool.
Okay, so last time we were in Zendikar, the allies were very, very popular. So remember, when Zendikar started out, it was Adventure World. And what the allies originally represented was the idea of an adventuring party. That, Zendikar had all these treasures in it, and the parties gathered together to hunt through Zendikar and find these. But when the Eldrazi came, they had to band together to fight the Eldrazi. Well, now we're back. They're in trouble, and this is the army defending Zendikar. Zendikar's in deep, deep trouble, and the only thing that stands between Zendikar and a big snack for the Eldrazi is the allies. And so what Rally is we took a mechanic we had done last time without a name, we didn't name it last time, and we tweaked it a little bit. So previously, if you look at ally decks from old Zendikar, whenever this creature, which is always an ally, or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, it generates an effect that affects other allies. But Rally affects not just all allies, but all your creatures. Because one of the things we realized is ally decks want you to play more allies, but we don't want to punish you for having all allies. You can have some non-ally creatures in your deck. And so Rally is sort of a tweaked version of the ally mechanic.
So that's super awesome until I have to face a guy who's got his freaking landfall and his 1/1 guys and this guy too. So thanks for nothing. Up next is Radiant Flames. So Radiant Flames is a sorcery with a new mechanic called Converge.
Yes.
Tell us about Converge.
Okay, so what we said is the Eldrazi are all about colorlessness, so we wanted to contrast them. Obviously, the Zendikar are fighting the Eldrazi, so they're about color. So what converge says is, whenever you cast a converge spell, it's a variable effect. It looks at how much colored mana you spent. So for example, take Radiant Flames. If you spend 2 colorless mana and 1 red, well, it'll do 1 damage to everything. But let's say you spend a white mana and a blue mana and a red mana to cast it, it'll do 3 damage. That's a scalable effect based on how much color you have. And so the Eldrazi lets you do a lot of cool things with colorlessness. The Zendikar lets you do cool things with color.
So how are you feeling about this so far, Pax? I hope that's what you would say. Let's look at Ruinous Path.
Okay, so the Zendikari aren't the only ones on their side. There's one other ally that they have.
Yep.
Zendikar itself, the land we learn is sentient. It doesn't really like the Eldrazi. And so we have Awaken. So what Awaken says is, let's look at Ruinous Path. Costs 1 black for a sorcery. You can destroy a target creature or planeswalker. Pretty awesome. But for Awaken, so Awaken always has a number. That number can vary. Awaken 4 means if you spend extra mana, you get to turn a land into a 0/0 creature and put that many +1/+1 counters on it. So Awaken 4 means essentially you turn a land into a 4/4 creature. So you get a creature to either attack with, to block with, whatever you want to do, but you can spend extra mana to also animate your land to fight for you.
Now, speaking as the appointed representative of the Eldrazi here on the stage, as we've established earlier, I am super freaking excited to share with everyone who was not here earlier, who does not already know this, that our good friend Ulamog is back.
Yes.
That Ulamog is returning, everyone. He is our master. He is our benevolent destroyer. He is freaking amazing. And he is back as Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger.
Yes.
Please now introduce these sad Zendikari to their future destruction.
So what we learned is there were originally 3 Titans. The one Titan remaining is Ulamog. He was known for, he loves to eat.
Yeah.
He really, really likes to eat.
Yeah.
And so we made a 10 mana, 10/10 indestructible creature. When you cast him, he exiles 2 permanents. So even if you counter him, he still exiles 2 permanents. And then whenever he attacks, the defending player exiles the top 20 cards of their library. So
He's so awesome.
So what we knew is, look, he's the villain. You have to have a good villain. So we made a really good villain.
And the villain being the hero of his own story, all he wants to do is get rid of all the cards in your library so you will go away. I don't think that's unreasonable. We've met a lot of creatures and some sorceries and things like that, but one of the things that you had talked about is the land of Zendikar.
Yes.
And Zendikar being a realm with a very strong land theme. So, I imagine that the kids would be pretty happy to know that full-frame land is back.
So previously I talked about how the most popular mechanic of the original Zendikar was landfall.
Yes.
But in our market survey, the actual mechanic that won the survey was full art land.
Yeah.
So we're back in Zendikar. We say, you know what? We need to do full art land. Zendikar's all about the land.
Yeah.
And so it's back. This is a cycle done by an artist named Tinwa Shu, and it is shows you kind of where Zendikar is now.
Yep.
We get to see some of the lush Zendikar, a little bit of the destroyed Zendikar, and you get to see all that Zendikar has to offer.
How do I get these cards?
How do you get these cards?
Yeah.
Open up booster packs.
Okay, very good.
They're
Good to
basic
know.
land, so you can get them in any pack.
Okay, great. On your Tumblr, you had mentioned some other land-related things.
I did.
Would you like to talk a little bit about your land-related things
So-
that we might want to look at maybe on the screen right now?
So what I said was we were doing a brand new cycle of rare dual lands, and I said I think you guys were going to like them. So did you guys want to see the dual lands? Okay, so why don't we take a look at the dual land? Okay, so let me explain. So these are... Okay, this is... Okay. Okay, so let me explain real quickly, because those at home might not get it as quick as you guys do. What's going on here is these lands come and play untapped as long as you have 2 or more basic lands. They were designed that way, so they play really well in 2 and 3 color decks, but aren't as strong in 4 and 5 color decks. But the most important part is the card type line. They have basic land types. What does that mean? That means they play really nicely with the fetch lands from Khans of Tarkir. They allow you to go get other colors with your fetch lands.
Now, they have a special expansion symbol on them, right?
No, not these do not.
Oh, the ones we're going to see next have a special expansion symbol on them.
You're hinting at something to come.
Oh, dear me, I seem to have jumped into the future, where I'm from, and brought back this question.
Yes.
These are great, all right? I love them, and I don't want to appear ungrateful. But wouldn't these be neat if they were like, I don't know, full frame maybe?
What? Funny you would ask that. So, we know that Zendikar is a land of treasures.
Yes.
So we've done a special promotion called Zendikar Expeditions.
Yes.
So what it is, it's 25 non-basic lands.
Yes.
All done in full frame art. So let's take a look at one of these in there. Okay, so here, let me explain. They are full frame art, brand new art, all set on Zendikar. They have a special frame that's a special Zendikar frame. They're all premium. They are in English. They appear in non-English product, but only in English versions. It will not be on Magic Duels, but it will be on Magic Online, but not redeemable.
Now, they seem to have a special symbol on them, which is very surprising to me. That was not a thing I was anticipating at all. Would you talk about their special expansion symbol that I've just now noticed?
Okay, so
not that I got a thing messed up from rehearsal at 6 o'clock this morning, but I literally just noticed right now.
So one of the things about this is Zendikar Expeditions. While they are in Zendikar. Battle for Zendikar boosters,
yes.
They're not officially part of the Battle for Zendikar set. They're a special thing added in.
Okay.
And so they have their own expansion symbol. So when you're collecting, for example, on Magic Online, you don't need to get the expeditions to redeem the set. They're not officially part of the set.
And these are in boosters?
These are in boosters, yes.
And I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that they're relatively rare.
They are. So
How rare are they?
They are equal in rarity to premium mythic rares.
Oh, just that.
But because there's 25 of them and there's only 15, you actually open them slightly more often than you open up a premium mythic rare.
If I get a booster pack and I get one of these amazing lands, can I use it right away?
If you're playing in limited, you can. If you're playing in draft or sealed, yes, you can. In
Okay.
constructed, you can play them in any format that they're legal.
Okay.
For example, we just saw the dual lands from Battle for Zendikar. Obviously, those are available in standard. You can play them in standard.
One of the things that I saw as I was standing very close to the screen here and noticing for the very first time that they have a special expansion symbol is that it is an edition of 45?
Okay, yes.
What does that mean?
Zendikar Expeditions is not just for Battle for Zendikar, but the entire Battle for Zendikar block. So what that means is there are 25 in Battle for Zendikar, and then 20 new ones in Sweat. We haven't released the name yet, in the small expansion. So 25 in the first set, 20 different ones in the second set.
Okay, so 5 of the 25 expeditions are in Battle for Zendikar.
Yes.
What are the other 20?
What are the other 20? Well, I can't tell you just now.
Damn it!
But I will say there are 2 10-card cycles that I think the players will like.
Hey, I have a question. I'm a player, and we kind of work for the same company right now. So, like, maybe you could just tell me what some of them are.
Please? I'm sorry. I'm only allowed to tell things they say I can say, so I can't. But when you guys find out, you will like them. Just trust, you will like them.
I tried. I tried. This is amazing, and this is so exciting, and I think everyone will probably join me in saying thank you, Mark, not just for this, but for everything with Magic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Hey! So, just so you guys know, those are premium foil mythic rare cards. So just for clarification, premium foil mythic rare. So everyone
Wait, did you say they're premium foil mythic rare?
Premium foil mythic rare.
I am excited.
No, I'm excited.
But I am also excited.
No, I'm the most excited.
Okay, I believe you. You're the most excited.
This
Ash
awesome.
is excited, everybody! Yay! You're my little Ulamog! Hooray!
That's right.
You
Don't
sure
cross
are.
me.
Nope, I won't.
Well, this is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was really super great.
Yeah. So okay, everyone that's joining us at home, if you're watching from home, make sure to tune in again right here tomorrow for the finals for the Magic World Championship.
Yeah, and to find out even more about Zendikar, you can go to the Magic World Building panel, which will be here at PAX on Monday in the theater. I'm going to look down here so I don't get it wrong. It will be streamed on twitch.tv/magic. So if you can't be here, or if you're here and you need to be standing in line for something else, you'll be able to see it and find out all about it.
And check out battleforzendikar.com to find out when and where you can play Battle for Zendikar for yourself.
And this was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I really enjoyed it.
I did too.
Yeah, so thanks a lot for coming out tonight, everybody,
Yeah.
and for being part of this event.
Yes.
And for helping us get ready for the next step in the battle for Zendikar.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Did you have any thoughts about what you think the Magic expeditions might be?
Oh, Mark didn't tell you?
No, I was literally just talking to him out here and tried to get him to tell me, and he wouldn't say anything.
Oh, that's really embarrassing because he told me.
What?
Yeah. Do you want to see a couple?
Yes.
They're so cool. Will's gonna have a heart attack. So, are you okay? Do we need to call a doctor?
No, I'm great. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. Play more games.
That's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Do you want Graham to go now?
I'm waiting for my. Hey everybody. Hey. Check. Is it good? Is the mic on? Hey everybody. Waiting for the microphone to come on. Check. Hey, there we go. Hey everybody. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate you hanging out for this. We need to set up now for the party, which I hope everyone's excited for. So we've